Hey, everybody, and welcome to Crown Council Live. I am Stuart Anderson, joined by Greg Anderson. Hey, Greg.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy Thursday.
Hey, Steve's off presenting today with Pam, I believe at the, oh man, I think
They're
they're
off the Hinman meeting, I think.
Hinman. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's fun. We're going to hear from Steve hopefully next week. Big webinar that we've got planned. Our lucky case acceptance webinar with a little St. Patrick's Day twist there if you've seen any of the promos. So fun to be with you today. Next week will be a more formal presentation, more education based webinar. And you do have to register to join us next week because we're on a different platform. We're on GoToWebinar and looking forward to it. We're going to do that once a month. We're going to have a more formal educational hour, so look for those 12 this year. And we're grateful for Steve and the TOPS team for creating our more formal webinars. So very good. Greg and I have a few housekeeping items. So I'm going to share my screen to go and navigate to our Smiles for Life page. Gregor, we're off to a great start with Smiles for Life, correct?
We blew through $250,000 worth of donations in the first 15 days. I mean, come on.
All right, so here's our campaign totals for 2025. Let's see if I can increase the size there. So this is through March 17th. $250,000 has already been raised, which is incredible considering, you know, these top donations are over 10K, but everything else is just here a little, there a little, and we are making the total big. So really fun to see everybody off and running with Smiles for Life whitening. And I'll scroll through this little group. So if you can see your name, this has been our most asked question this week, don't you think, Greg? Is where are the
Where are
totals?
the
We want to
totals?
we want
Yeah.
to see where we are and how we're doing. So really fun to see people working on Smiles for Life whitening as we're shipping t-shirts, supplies. Ultradent is our great partner here, shipping whitening every week. And we're just incredibly grateful for dentistry's most successful charitable campaign and all those who are participating. Look at those Mortensen offices. Very good. Gregor, anything else you want to say about Smiles for Life before we move on?
The only thing I would say is uh, stay ahead of the whitening that you need. We send those orders into Ultradent every Friday morning. It takes a week, 10 days from the time we send those orders in until they arrive at your office. And so we know with so much whitening going on that you kind of need to look ahead a little bit. And we really do appreciate everything that Ultradent does. They are awesome,
Yeah,
but we need to be sure to give them enough time to do what they do best.
very good. All right, Gregor, we launched something really fun last week. We talked about it in the live stream 2 weeks ago, but it kind of went live with us when we emailed it out to the email network. We created a fun recognition tool that stemmed from our time at the annual event called our Honk Awards. I know, great name, right? But our Honk Awards is an opportunity that we are starting a new thing that Crown Council is going to start, which is how can this office help you recognize your team better? And this is our first attempt. So this is what we're calling our Honk Box. And it comes from our great friend Neil Jeffrey, who talked about, flying with a community, being part of a group that is encouraging to each other, uplifting each other. And we turn that into a fun team recognition box that you can buy. And in the box, we created these at the annual event, stuffed geese, printed honk cards where you'll share uplifting messages, appreciation notes with somebody, and then buttons that you can wear as a team. And you can create this fun recognition tool any way you want to start your own recognition, how you do it, how you recognize team members. But this is our way of kind of a turnkey opportunity for you to start a culture of recognition in your practice. What did I miss there, Gregor?
No, this is it. I mean, we are shipping these boxes out like crazy, and I'm actually amazed at the great traction this has had. But if you're looking for a fun way to do something in your office that recognizes your team members, this is like they're I appreciate notes on steroids. And everybody can play, but it gives you something fun that you can pass along that's iconic that they can be proud to have. And by the way, that goose actually honks. I mean, if you grab it and push it, I mean, it actually honks. So it's kind of fun. Neil Jeffrey would be proud of us. We should send him one.
Very fun. We are in the process of, as crazy as it sounds, signing people up for the annual event and getting hotel reservations for Salt Lake City in 2026. We're probably halfway through our total number of people that can participate in the annual event. So if you are watching and you want to be part of that experience, it's happening now. Don't wait. And March has an incredible promotion where you can get $100 off each attendee. We'll send you a book from our good friend Dan Heath, and also a t-shirt, long sleeve t-shirt that was created and presented to those at the annual event this year. So you can be part of that fun March promotion, kind of our early bird sign up promotion to be part of the annual event.
Eagles forever.
Eagles forever. This is a risky move that I kind of didn't want to do, but you are looking at my Dropbox here. I didn't download this video of Dr. Jared Adams, but this is a testimony that he shared. I got to make sure I share my sound, that he shared at the annual event that I wanted to play for you, play for everybody. So I'm going to just click on this little guy, and then hopefully it all works. And if it doesn't work, we'll just click away, and that's okay.
I'm Jared Adams. I'm a dentist in Bend, Oregon, and this is my 15th annual event. Wouldn't miss it. It's my restart to a new year, and thrilled to be here this weekend. Okay, we always have top-notch speakers. I can't think of a year where we didn't have speakers that were just unbelievable, and now a handful of those speakers, I listen to their podcasts daily, weekly, on road trips, but it's been an amazing way to have these motivation speakers from around the country introduced to our group specifically, and get to glean knowledge and things from people outside of dentistry that really, really benefit us as clinicians and employers and dads, spouses, moms, friends, all those things beyond just the hat we wear day to day. The best thing about being a part of this community is, I've said it before, this is my tribe of people, and I see emails every day. I have a mastermind group. We are on Telegram, WhatsApp. We communicate all the time, and I love how engaged and active people are and supportive through thick and thin. People are vulnerable, they're honest, they're encouraging. We really do strive to elevate each other with that theme of being eagles and flocking together. The mentorship of the Crown Council has been huge for me. I remember graduating dental school at Loma Linda, and a faculty member said, dental school teaches you this much about a field this big. And every single year, a part of the Crown Council, I feel like this part, not in the clinical sense, is being provided to me through the mentors, through leaders, through dentists who are 10, 15, 20 years ahead of me in the mastermind group. So it's an enriching group of people, unlike any other thing I'm part of in dentistry. And I'm part of my local state organization, the American Dental Association, a lot of different CE events, but there's nothing like this that provides the mentorship. The energy of the atmosphere is unlike anything else in dentistry. It's the most fun group of dentists I'm around every year. And like I said, I kick off my new year with the Crown Council annual event. It's so much fun. It's a blast. We get goofy, crazy, and we cheer each other on, and we step outside our comfort zone. We really do push each other out. Trust me, know that you will get the most ROI compared to anything else in terms of dental CE. It's not your typical state conference or local dental society group or anything clinical that you think is going to push you ahead. This will push you ahead in a way that really transcends a lot of the clinical CE that you would take. Just get here.
What a good guy. So fun to hear from Jared Adams. Hard to believe 15 years.
I was just thinking that same thing.
So awesome. Hey, very good. So yeah, join us at the annual event. We work on it for a whole year, planning and preparing to host our Crown Council membership, and we hope you can be there with us. So our first guest was planning to be in here today. Grateful for Taylor Lowe from Eagle U. If we can bring her in, I hope she's still here. We left her in the waiting room for just a minute, but grateful for Taylor. You've seen Taylor on the live stream before. Hi, Taylor. How are you?
Hello, Andersons.
Good, doing well?
Yes, how about you guys?
We are very good. Grateful to have you on as part of the live stream today. We were just explaining, it feels like we were just together at the annual event, Taylor.
Yeah.
And I asked Taylor yesterday, she shared a video at the annual event. Is that a good place to start, or should we start? Maybe, will you just introduce real quick first? If people don't know what Eagle U is, let's just do a high level introduction of what you are and what you do. Is that okay?
Absolutely. So
Okay.
since this is the Crown Council audience, I'm assuming that most of you have either been to or seen or experienced in some way the annual event. And the easiest way I can describe Eagle U is it is the Crown Council annual event for your high school and college kids.
Fun.
So we are a 5-day leadership retreat experience for high school and college students from all over the country on a college campus, where we give these students all of the tips and tricks and tools to be successful in their personal and their professional life.
I love it. And how many years has Eagle U? I mean, I went to Eagle U. I was actually going to bring my binder onto the show when I went in 2001.
We've been around for 33 years. It'll be 33 this year.
Crazy. That's so
I know.
fun. Very
Long
good.
time.
Okay. I'm going to play our little video. Is that okay?
Perfect.
Okay. 3 minutes long. Give me a thumbs up to make sure that you can see it. Here we go.
Eagle U was honestly the most life-changing week of my life. Everyone here is so welcoming with open arms, and they want to help you. They just want to invest in your success, and that is what happened at Eagle U.
Eagle U has helped me so much with my confidence. I used to be super shy and quiet, and when I went back, my teachers were so impressed with like what happened to you? You were so confident.
It's just an opportunity to make a difference, to see a group of students come together and learn and connect. It's just something bigger than us.
Here at Eagle U, yes, we teach leadership skills, interview skills, how to get the job of their dreams, all of those things. But what we really do here at Eagle U is we transform the lives of 120 students that come through our program every year.
Eagle U is a week-long program where we present success principles that, when implemented, will help them get a 7-year head start on their career.
So we have a philanthropic relationship with Eagle U. We have sent about 38 students through this program, and of those 38 students, I have heard from every one of their parents every year tell us how transformed their kids come back. They're like, the kid that you sent through those doors 5 days ago is not the kid you returned to me.
This week is gonna change me for the rest of my life.
I'm a carpenter, and I had left my trade, and I came to Eagle U, and I went back to my trade. I pursued my goals, I wrote them down, and now I'm a foreman, and it's thanks to Eagle U.
Eagle U has really helped me with getting my dream job, because really just have Eagle U's interview skills and people skills and goal setting to thank for that.
Eagle U is an experience to not just learn content, but also learn how to apply it in their life so that they see value instantly.
Do you hear a lot of adults talking about the workforce and saying that the pickings are slim? Well, Eagle U, it gives them a place to come and actually work on themselves so that they can become the best version of themselves.
But attending Eagle U and being surrounded by so many ambitious individuals, I learned that success is a choice. I have the chance to succeed. It is real, it is possible, and it can be mine.
So those who sponsor students or provide scholarships for Eagle U students give them an opportunity they otherwise would never have.
As a business owner, the things that you teach here at Eagle U really help people work with people. And if people can work with people, businesses thrive. And the tools that people need, sometimes, or most times, they're not taught in school. They're taught in programs like this.
I'm really glad that I could just come back here and truly get the Eagle U experience.
I kept coming back because they teach you so many amazing skills. I just love it. I love the program. It has my heart. I keep coming back to Eagle U because Eagle U definitely gives me a sense of family.
To a student that is nervous about coming, I would say put your wall down and try to embrace it as much as you can, because there really is nothing like it.
If you want to better yourself, then you need to take the step and join Eagle U. I mean, it's amazing.
Fun. Great video, Taylor. That was
Love it.
awesome. Very good. Hey, so like as you're watching, Gregor, you two, what do you want to say about the video? What did you want? I mean, any comments about what you saw?
Well, I'll just share a recent success story of one
Okay.
of our students, if that works. So one of our students, Joe Buchheit, Marty Buchheit's son, for those of you who know Marty,
Okay.
went through Eagle U many years ago. He's been one of our team leaders ever since, and he really applied the principles that we teach in his life. And he was just awarded Young Engineer of the Year. And in his acceptance speech, my husband was actually there for another client. Anyways, my husband filmed it and anything. He was giving so much of the credit to winning Young Engineer of the Year to Eagle U and all the things he learned. And that's just one of thousands of stories that we have. And that one just happened last week, which is why it's on the
Very
front of my
cool.
mind. And it's just
Nice.
awesome.
Can you talk about the curriculum? A lot of them were kind of like, oh, I learned this and that, but it's like, what exactly is happening there? If I'm a parent and I'm like sending my kid off for a week, what could you possibly be doing with them for a week?
So we sit them down and first of all, we build them up with positive self-talk skills. We think that's really important for this generation to have this mental toughness mindset. And then from there, we go into core values and how to identify your core values and base your goals off of what you really value in life. How to set the strategic vision of what do you actually want to do? What do you want to accomplish so that you're not just drifting along, but you actually have this plan. Strategic goal setting, time management, etiquette, how to dress for success. We teach them how to get the job of their dreams without a resume and how to nail the 21 toughest interview questions. I mean, when I say we teach it all, we really do teach it all. All the skills that, you know, you wish you would have learned when you were younger and all the skills that we wish our public education system would teach our kids is what we're doing in Eagle U.
Yeah. I love that. What about that? I noticed in the video, was that like a formal dinner they were sitting down to?
Yes. So, you know, part of it is an etiquette course, which is really important. And I don't think these students realize, you know, at 15 that, you know, in their careers, they're going to have a formal dinner that they're going to have to go to at some point. And so we train them on how to do this and feel comfortable doing it. And then they walk into this surprise evening of this like not 5-star, but 5-course dinner with all the settings and all the things. It's awesome.
A 3-fork event.
Yeah, 3-fork event. That's right.
Very fun. I'm going to share my screen to Eagle U's website. Is that okay, Taylor?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Can you talk about what's available this year and kind of what's happening?
Yes, our program this year is July 14th through the 18th in the Kansas City area. So you fly your student in, we pick them up from the airport, we take them back. They stay on the college campus with us the entire week. So you can just register up there where it says register now. That's where you can register if you want. You can also reach out to me directly at my website, at my email, which is just taylor@eagleuniversity.org.
Okay.
Also, there's a new tab up there. It says Get Involved right underneath the student portal, right down there. And we just built this out. This just launched this morning. So if you don't have a student of your own that you want to send, but you want to support Eagle U, you can get on this page and we have given you all these tools and resources to spread the word with your own network. So if you want to sponsor a student or post about us on social media or send out an email or hang up a flyer in your office, we've created all these awesome tools right at your disposal.
Fun. These are great.
Yeah, thanks.
Huh. Smart idea.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do offer discounts for any Crown Council members, tuition discounts. So that's about $200 off. And I can get with you directly if anybody's interested in registering their student. We'll get that all figured out.
Okay. Taylor, can you talk about the mentor program? I know that many Eagle U graduates, when they come back and when they talk about their experience at Eagle U, they talk about that mentor moment. Can you talk about that for just a minute?
So we train the students throughout the entire week. And then on the last day, after all this training that they've gone through, if you will, we have a room of about 60 individuals from all different backgrounds and walks of life and industries. And our students will have received their resumes ahead of time, identified who they want to sit down with. And then our students go around and they get to choose and they interview the mentors on what made them successful. So, you know, we've got a saying in the Crown Council and at Eagle U, you know, why create mediocrity when you can copy genius? And we want to give these students an opportunity to copy these mentors' genius. And it's one of the most impactful parts of the entire program.
Very cool.
It's kind of like speed dating for employees.
Exactly. Yes.
Very good. Taylor, I love your story with Eagle U. Before you go, I think that it's one of the most inspiring parts of the whole program in general is you, I mean, as the person that embodies Eagle U. Can you tell that story with everybody?
Yeah. When I was 15, I won a scholarship to Eagle U through pageants, and my parents, took the offer up and surprised me on Christmas morning and said, we're going to send you to this program. Went to the program, absolutely fell in love with it. It was in Dallas at the time. Came home and I was just on fire, for the program and for all my goals and everything. And one of the things they teach you at Eagle U is to create your vision board. And so I had put on my vision board that one day, I wanted to be executive director of Eagle U. And, 10, 15 years later, I was in my career in politics, and I got a call and Steve said, hey, this position's available. Is it still on your vision board? Do you want to run this organization? And it was without hesitation. And I said, absolutely, I do. So full circle moment.
I love it. So good. It's fun to connect with you. I went to Eagle U I think I was like a freshman in college. Back in the day is in Pepperdine. So I think Eagle U maybe jumped around to different college campuses, and I went to Pepperdine. It felt like as a youth, I guess you could call me more of a vacation than it was educational at the time. But looking back, I have used the things in the binder and the education I learned for a lot of stuff, particularly someone that was there, which was incredible, was a lot of help with studying, right? So how to read better, how to study better, how to make effective use of just time in general in college. Are those principles that are still being taught at Eagle U?
Absolutely, yes. So we have our study skills seminar, and then we fly in the world's memory champion, Ron White, to teach our students study skills and memorization techniques. And so, yes, we absolutely still do that.
I know. I remember, I think Ron White was there, and watching him read, I was like, that's not real. He is not reading that book. And then I'm like, I got to read. That is how I want to read. That's the way it's done. So that was fun. Very good. Anything else, Taylor, that we missed, or anything else that you want to share about Eagle U or being involved with you this summer?
I don't think so. Our spots are filling up. I know it's still winterish outside. We just got a snowstorm again yesterday, but summer will be here before you know it. So please lock your student spot in if you have not already done so, because we cannot wait to have them with us.
Okay, very good. And it's fun. I think at the annual event, we even talked about maybe third generation Eagle U participants now coming through. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true. It is. Yeah.
That's awesome. Very good. Okay, Gregor, anything else for Taylor before we let her go?
Love her. Yep. Love Eagle U.
Yeah, very
do
good.
it. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it.
Thanks, Taylor. Grateful for you.
Bye, guys.
Okay, bye. Eagle U, very good. I know that Steve, if he was here, he is heavily involved with Eagle U and the curriculum and everything that takes place at Eagle U. He has crafted that over the years and has made an unforgettable week for students to be part of Eagle U. So very good. Grateful to have Taylor on. We're going to bring in our next guest. I guess we're 1 minute early. We can still bring him in. As he comes in, this is Mark. Gregor's going to introduce Mark. I want to make sure that Mark can hear us before we start the introduction. But as a reference, as a guide, our resource partners are an incredible opportunity for us to share with the rest of the Crown Council membership things and topics and businesses that are constantly being brought up to the membership. And Mark is going to fill one of those needs, which I don't know if we've ever actually filled this need before, maybe once for only a few months that didn't work so great. So we're grateful for Mark, his incredible expertise in business. And Greg, do you want to introduce Mark?
Yeah, Mark and I met maybe a month or two ago, and I met through a mutual friend. And it's always interesting to me after so many years in the industry that there are people who interact with dentists that I didn't know. and are companies that do stuff that I didn't know. And Mark's great. He has got a machine that just doesn't quit. And Mark, why don't you give everybody, before we dig into the details here, why don't you give them a little bit of your background and maybe give them the 30,000 foot view of what DRNA does? and why it's important in a dental practice.
And so help me, how many people are on this morning?
Oh, Mark, we've got people on YouTube, Facebook, and then joining us live on the crowncouncil.com website. So there's usually about 50 or 60 practices
Fantastic.
joining
You
us.
guys are
Yeah.
terrific. Great. Thank Greg. You're very gracious, and thanks a lot. So I started this business in 1998 and been at it a long time. And I had found this model in Europe that related to the issue of amalgam and its mercury content and getting in the environment. So in the 80s, a long time ago, late 80s into 90s, places like Germany and Scandinavia had regulated the proper disposal of amalgam waste, products called amalgam separators. I had always had an interest in the environment, and I segmented to creating DRNA, which stands for Dental Recycling North America. And the issue was to bring this issue that I felt this issue was going to come to the U.S. as well, the issue of proper disposal of amalgam waste. And so couple that with other needs for dentists to do that, and had heard, in the years that dentists are paying a lot of money and there's not a lot of competition in the medical waste disposal issue. There's a lot of change in staff in dental offices. So people don't really, you train someone for regulation and 6 months later, a year later, they're gone. So you have to retrain them. And we were seeing, especially in the 90s, a lot more regulation in 2000s and focus, and whether it's the federal or a state, depending where you live. You can obviously, most of these regulations are really driven by local and state municipalities and governments, in addition to the federal, EPA. So I saw a niche and decided that the only way we could actually bring reasonable costs, because these medical waste costs, remember, it's a simple cost, right? It doesn't enhance the dental practice in terms of doing patient care, things that you guys are focused on, the Crown Council. It's an overhead, and especially the 90s were a very good economic time. But as the times we're now, especially with inflation and others more challenging times, everybody is looking to control and reduce the cost. So we created a model that goes directly to the dentist, kind of a disruptor, kind of an Amazon within the dental industry, if I may be so bold to say. So it doesn't do distribution and pass that savings on to the dentist. So obviously it's a more difficult task because distribution is so solid and distributors serve a wonderful purpose in many areas of the dental industry. But in this one, we felt there would be a niche to do that. And we've been rewarded after a lot of dedication. Simply like the Crown Council, we've probably been very much a parallel to how many years you guys been in business, and servicing your wonderful customers. And so we do number of institutions, major dental schools, major hospitals, U.S. military, and thousands of dentists. And our prices are very competitive. Our knowledge is very deep, and that's what we focus on. So we are proud of this opportunity to be part of the Crown Council, to offer discounts to Crown Council, to support your charity, and to make your members aware of an opportunity to save money, what we think is a superior service in the marketplace.
Nice.
So how, explain to us what happens. Let's say tomorrow I decide I want to be a DRNA customer. Explain what happens at the front desk. Explain how the process works.
So I think, Greg, we're going to send out, I don't know the timing, but pretty after this call, I think we're going to send an email out to your members, which is going to take them to a link, and that link is going to offer them discounted pricing, and they can. So they're to offer a range of services, right? In addition to our supporting the Smiles campaign, and your charity. So basically, you can look online, and what you really want people to consider is, first thing you might want to consider is, what kind of amalgam separator you have. And most people don't even think about this, but because it's in the utility room. But these costs have gone up, and our prime competitors are people are raising prices, and we have a different model. We basically have a 3 or 5 year service contract, so we locking you in at these prices. You don't have to worry about inflation. So you might want to look at your current model if you don't have a DRNA amalgam separator and say, I could save money. Let me ask DRNA what my special pricing is, for your new product and how I do that. So that's one thing. Look at your amalgam separator. Say, I want to reduce my amalgam recycling cost, and contact us, either through email or our call 800 number, and our sales team will relate that. In addition, there are other costs. There's amalgam. The solid amalgam waste that you have to recycle. Many people think they can go in the red bags. They can't go in the red bags because mercury gets burnt. There's your medical waste. Look at that. Look at your cost on that and see and compare to DRNA. Obviously a lot of people have gone digital, but the extent that you're still doing fixer, that's something we address, and pharmaceutical waste. So it's going to be, our goal is to educate your members first, right? To let them know about DRNA, how it can save money, to go online, look at the services, and then just speak to our people and compare what you're doing, and hopefully switch to us. Because it's money directly in the pocket. What we say is we put money on the bottom line. This is nothing, there's no rocket science here. There's no special AI. There's no high tech. This is not, buying Instagram, like Facebook. This is simple, an old waste service business. But, small companies like Waste Management exist, Stericycle exist, and it's a proven business. But it's a business where you can really, reduce cost, and that's what our goal is. And we're very excited with this opportunity to connect to your members, because that's our biggest challenge. We call it the firewall, right? Is how do we get a dental practice to say, yeah, this may be a niche issue, but if I can save $50, $100, $1,000 a year, $1,500 a year back in my pocket for the same services, this is great. And ancillary to that, what we try to do is we educate people. And so we have, for example, we have a great new CE out there. So there's one CE course that we're offering as a special incentive to Crown Council members for free if they order any DRNA product, and that educates people. We have another product that I have a discount in because of the changing nature of staff. We have a poster that lists all the things in the environmental sector, how you do this. Because one of the other things we do is an interesting story. Is if you do get inspected, it's random, right? We don't say it's that, but it's like everyone knows. I always refer to the example of Martha Stewart, right? They went after her for that inside trading, if you remember, years and years ago. And it's because they can't go after everyone. They wanted to make an example of somebody, and they wanted the press and the hype and all that. And that's kind of how the environmental inspection works over the times. They'll go to somebody, they want to make a big deal. And that's a danger. I mean, it's a low risk, but it's a risk of getting fined. So it's best the way you hedge against that risk is you educate your staff. And that's what DRNA does. We have this really interesting poster that goes on the wall. And so if the staff changes, they can just look at all the segmented of all the different wastes that there are out there. So education is a big part of our program, and we look forward to doing that. And that's an advantage of being with DRNA.
Tell me, one of the things that impressed me about it was how you help keep everybody in compliance, because everybody has to do this. This
Right.
isn't optional.
Right.
Everybody has to do this.
Right.
So making those tools available to us is something that impressed me about it. Talk a little bit about how you keep people on top of the compliance that they need in the practice.
Well, first of all, we say that if you get information from your different regulators, instead of having, typically, the practice manager person will do it. And people have to understand that I always said when I first started getting the business, a doctor would say to me, well, I said, doctor, what do you do with your waste? Whether, in this particular case, your amalgam waste. Well, I give it to Johnny. And once I give it to Johnny, I'm done. Well, unfortunately, doc, that's not how the law works. It's cradle to grave. It's responsibility till it's done. So if Johnny dumps that in the Great Lake, in the river, unfortunately, they'll come after you. And if Johnny can't prove to you that he's doing it correctly, you're on the hook. So that's the first thing. So any kind of documentation they get at customer of DRNA, we have a compliance staff. They'll call. They'll say, I'm Dr. Smith from Dallas, and we will assist them at no cost to the customer. We'll fill out the documentation. We'll advise them if they get inspected. We're their arm of compliance. And we do this for large DSOs. We do this for dental schools, and we do this for individual practitioners. So part of it, one is education, so these people do it right. But two is the whole process of the forms they get, of the compliance information, all kinds of things. I was with a customer last night who told me in the state of Florida, there are these emergency kits that you get, and every year you have to buy new pharmaceuticals because if they expire, you don't do it. And people think, well, let them be expired. Who cares? I'm never getting inspected, except when you do get inspected, right? It's never but when, right? So it's kind of like we want people to know if that day comes and you're a DRNA customer, we are there for you. We have your back. And that's an added cost that we, added advantage at no cost that we are very proud of.
Very cool.
I would say, one of the things that impressed me about what you do, Mark, is that there are other people in your space that do other things. And the disposal of this type of waste is kind of ancillary to other things that they do.
Right.
One of the things that really impressed me about DRNA is that this is what you do.
Right. And yeah,
This is what you do.
Right.
And it is your focus.
Right.
And you have a lot of add-on value because it is your focus.
Right.
Talk a little bit about the value that you add if you haven't already addressed that.
Sure. I think the issue is, so people, we for example, until you focus on it, you don't really understand your costs, right? And we fully understand. People are very busy, they're obviously involved with you because they're interested in successfully, and you've proven it, how you can grow their practice and how they can learn and enhance that. But that's on the revenue side. I think what people need to and I think people are seeing it more every day. And you're seeing this whole approach where you have DSOs trying to acquire practices, and you have different models going in and saying, listen, you don't have to join DSO. You can become part of this consulting company, will reduce your cost. So people are more aware of that. This is that same thing, but on a very lower level, but very easy to obtain, right? So you basically, first you have to say, and I think this is one of the things, Greg, we hope to do, is to educate people, to get people's attention that you can save money if you look at your waste management cost, right? You don't need someone else to do it. You don't need to hire a big consulting firm. You just need to look at your bills, and even do that, just call us, right? Just call us and say, okay, you say you can do this. This is what I'm using. What do you suggest? And give me some comparison. So that's the first thing, is to focus on it, right? And to get people's attention. That's a real opportunity. And, if you basically say, if we saved, $1,000 to 400 members, that's $400,000 that in theory, Crown Council members collectively were able to save on just a few things, right? So it's a matter of saying, yeah, I want to be engaged. I want to give the 15 minutes. I want my practice manager to call DRNA. I want to send a message. And one of the things we really do, and I pride myself on this a long time, as you know, Greg, I have a great sense of urgency. And that's how I have all my staff. And these people have been around. Most people work for me minimum of 15 years, and some people have been in since I've established this business, and I'm very proud of it. I treat people right, and I treat my employees right, and we treat our customers really right. And it's the reason we have very large customers and institutions, people who really focus on this and have larger cost, like dental schools, like the U.S. military, like hospitals. But that same passings and that same scale we provide to individual practitioners. So it's the challenge. I think our challenge is to get your members to say, yeah, I want to look at my cost. I want to contact DRNA, and let's see what they can do for me.
Nice.
You are a good man, Mark. And our promise to the membership is we will get that link out to everybody.
Right.
And Mark has also made a commitment to help us with Smiles for Life. And we've just started that campaign anyway, for which we're most grateful. And thanks for spending a minute with us.
Yeah, no, it's great. We're very excited about working with Greg and Stuart. And I think, again, we're here to educate initially and then engage the membership and how we can save you money. That's our theme. That's our message. And we show the opportunity.
Grateful for you. As an industry leader, we're grateful to have you as part of the group. So thank you.
Very excited.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, guys. Have a good weekend.
Right, thanks for joining us. Thank you.
Bye.
All right, Gregory B. Very good. Grateful to have Mark on. What a great service. And I love his kind of no frills, really honest, really fun to hear from him. Somebody with so much experience in the industry. So we will, when the recording goes out to the membership, we will include Mark's information and how to be involved with DRNA. So good job.
He is laser focused.
Yeah, great. Very good. All right, we have one more interview. This is coming from our Humanitarian of the Year. So Sandy was recognized at the annual event just a month ago as our literal Humanitarian of the Year amongst the Crown Council, which is actually not with how much service that's going on inside the membership, what an incredible honor to share with her. And if you don't hear from the interview that we share, I just want to make sure that it's very clear. Sandy works for Lightwave Dental, which is a large group of practices, a dental service organization that has 70 practices, Gregor.
Mhm.
And Sandy single-handedly is the champion that continues to encourage and help these groups of practices participate in the Smiles for Life Foundation. She also organized their participation in our humanitarian trips. And literally without her as the cheerleader, those group of practices do not participate in Smiles for Life and do not raise hundreds of thousands of dollars for the Smiles for Life Foundation. And so she was very deserving, although she's very humble about it and doesn't want to be recognized.
Hey, and a
But
shout out to Bruce Hutchinson and Mike Gorman that trained her.
very good.
She came out of their practice, and they've raised in their practice over $500,000. They
That's
are
right.
rock
Hey,
star.
Team of the year. We got to get them on the
Team of
live
the
stream.
year,
Yeah,
yeah.
very good. All right, so I'm going to share. I did a little interview yesterday with Sandy. She couldn't join us live, so I'll share this little interview that we did. Looks like it's about 15 minutes.
Look at her. She's got her shirt on.
Yep. All right, welcome to the live stream. Grateful to have you with us. Sandy, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, Stuart?
I am very good. Sandy's joined us before from Lightwave Dental. We're grateful for Sandy. And if you are recognizing Sandy, I mean, we might as well just get it out of the way, Sandy. Humanitarian of the Year. We're grateful to recognize you on the stage at the annual event. Were you surprised?
I was very surprised.
You were.
Yes.
Man, you have earned it. So Sandy's role at Lightwave Dental, well, amongst other things, for years, she has championed the cause of Smiles for Life amongst all their group practice. So how many, I mean, there's usually at least 40 up to 70 practices participating in
Yes.
Smiles for Life. And you're the one that goads them along, that
I goad them along.
encourages them to participate. And each year, I mean, we've seen numbers as much as like $75,000 raised by all these
Yes.
offices for Smiles. Okay.
They do amazing.
You took it to a new level last year. So Lightwave Dental started joining us on the Crown Council humanitarian trips. And I mean, 20 people, at least 20 plus people
Yeah.
joining us from your group on the
Yeah, we've sent
humanitarian trip.
77 total over the last 3 years, I think.
You guys, I mean, not to mention how incredible just the group of practices that you are, but for you to rally these people and to bring together so many good things, it was fun to recognize you at the annual event. Well worth it, even though you're probably the type that's like, no, don't recognize me. I don't want. But maybe let's just start with that. Maybe, Sandy, what drives you, like personally, to be so involved with Smiles for Life? Why is it like a thing that you think is important for these practices to do?
Well, I think it's important for everyone to do their part to do good. So that's something we can do as dental professionals. I think I worked at Smiles for Centerville for over 30 years, and we did it every year. And it just instilled in me such a great culture building activity. You know, everyone working for a common goal is such a great way to bring a team together. So it brings the teams together. They get so excited. On Monday, I received a text from one of our offices, and the culture champion in that office, she's like, oh my goodness, look how well we're doing this year so far. Like they have something to be excited about. It makes them feel good about themselves, about what they do for people in their community. So it just there's like no negative to it. It's such a good thing. And it's amazing when the team is so bought in that they have their shirts, they wear their shirts, they show up as a team, they feel like a team, and they feel like they're doing good. So I just feel like it's a win-win all the way around.
Absolutely. And the fun part about it, and I think we can explain this, is you kind of propose Smiles for Life out to the group of offices, right? And
Yes.
you're not requiring them.
Nope.
You're not. Yeah. These are the teams that want to participate. They want to do it. They're not like, hey, we're part of this. You got to do it. Can you talk about that decision? Maybe teams that do participate versus teams that don't. Is there like a thing that happens, or I mean, what do you see when your teams participate? Why, I guess maybe a better question is, why would you want everybody to do it? I mean, I know you're working hard to get everybody to sign up, but you and the Lightwave leadership are, you know, on board for Smiles for Life.
We are.
Anyway, what do you say to everybody to say, come on, hey, everybody, please join in?
Well, I'm quite the sales lady when I really need them to help me. Last year at our annual meeting, our Lightwave launch, I set up a table. I think I sent you a picture, Stuart, and I had it
Yep.
all decorated. And I did something really cool. I thought for every team that signed up at Lightwave launch to participate in Smiles for Life, they got a guaranteed spot on our next mission trip if your name was drawn.
Oh,
So
no way.
if your office, so I know our River Run office at Colonial Heights has a guaranteed spot on our next overseas mission trip. So like to me, that was something to coach them to do it and get them excited about doing it. I also make it really easy for them. Like I send out reminders. I, send out a list of all the things they need to be doing. If you have any questions, call me. I badger Stuart Anderson when people have questions. I'm able to just connect them directly to you, which I so appreciate. But just I try to give them all the resources they need and make it as fun and easy for them as possible.
Very fun. Can you talk about maybe some of the fun things that you guys do to promote Smiles for Life? There are a lot of I think for me and you, sometimes it feels like, well, duh, it's second nature to wear the shirts. It's second nature to put the posters up. But I've even seen you guys do really fun other things. Can you talk about that? Just maybe stuff that you do to promote Smiles for Life and help the teams share with their patients how to make it a success.
Well, we always do a superhero day on day one. So
Okay.
March 1st, or the closest day to March 1st, I send a flyer out to all the participating offices that, we are superheroes. Let's show up on day one of Smiles for Life dressed as superheroes. Just causes a lot of communication in the practice about it. Because obviously, if you come in and you're a hygienist dressed as Wonder Woman, you're going to be like, what's going on here today? So I think that's really fun. Most of our offices participate in that and really enjoy doing that. They look forward to doing it. My social practice is so awesome. Every year I request from them the digital Smiles for Life resources. I make sure those are sent out to every practice from me so they know that this is a direct link. I don't have to go looking for it, and I can start promoting this right away. And yeah, I just kind of I also send out every week or every other week at the minimum a list of all of our practices and how they're doing. So, get a little bit of competition going. And, you have offices that are like, I'm going to beat, I know the office that's in number one this week for Lightwave knows they're number one and they're super excited about it. So
Right.
just trying to keep the excitement rolling. It's really easy that they get their boxes. They, day one's excited and then the excitement dives down. But just to continue to send things out, hey, have your doctors dressed as tooth fairies. We've all heard doing that if they hit this, or just giving them the coaching to continue the excitement in their practice.
Very good. Yeah, I know whenever anybody signs up new for Smiles for Life and they're like, well, what should we do? What crazy thing should we be doing? My advice is always the same. I said, well, the most important thing you can do, and the most successful offices that do Smiles for Life, they all do one thing. They ask every patient if they want to participate in
Exactly.
the whitening care, and they're always like, "Oh, is that it?" I'm like, "Yeah, just ask.
Yeah.
Just ask everybody that comes in." So,
Yeah. Wear your shirts, wear your buttons, have just have it out in the office. Make sure that when patients walk in, they don't miss it.
very cool. Remind me, Sandy, about your initiative when you pick local charities. Do you let your offices do that?
I encourage them to pick a local charity that they have a connection to.
Okay.
So if there's someone in their practice that has, a certain connection to a charity, to just hone in on that, because when you have an emotional connection to something, as we all know, it's going to change how you feel about it. So I know the first year I did a service project for Lightwave, I had the beneficiary as the children's hospital my granddaughter was in for months. And that made it so special to me to raise money for that, because that hospital has a special place in my heart and it always will. So just picking something that's close to your practice and having that charity come into your office and talk to the team and engage in them, have them put something on the counter as well. Your local Boys and Girls Club, we're raising money for them, and this is information about them and for them. Just making that connection, connecting the dots all the way around. You're supporting the charity's supporting you, and the team is 100% engaged with that particular charity.
Nice. I love it. That was a perfect advertisement. Exactly what I say to people when they ask, should we do it? So very good. So, Sandy, you went on a humanitarian trip. Can we just talk
I
about your
did.
experience? Yeah, how was it?
Yeah, it was awesome. 24 Lightwave team from our community went to Dominican Republic in November. Such an amazing trip, and I made such amazing friends from that trip. It was so fun to come back to Crown Council and see doctors and team members that were along on that trip with us. It was a life-changing experience. I think everyone should have a goal to do that once in their life at least, just to, you don't realize what poor is until you've actually seen poor. I know that, refresh my memory on what the lady is that helps us in Dominican Republic. I'm so sorry.
Let's see, not Alex.
No.
Dr.
Patricia.
Patricia. Yeah, sorry,
Thank you.
Dr. Patricia. Yeah.
Yeah, so sorry. I blanked out there. She was saying they do microloans to the people in the community. And, I'm thinking like a loan to me is like $5,000. These loans are like $30.
Right.
I just don't think you can comprehend like they borrowed $30. So I just think the level of poverty and the level of need in these communities were so much greater than what I thought it would be. And it just opened my eyes to like, wow, some of these people have never seen a dentist or had their teeth cleaned, or, when the bus pulls up, I think the most touching moment is that bus pulls up and they're waiting for you. Like that's like they've been waiting for years for you to come and help them. And that, I think that feeling of getting off that bus with that team, you're all in your Smiles for Life uniforms, and it just, like your heart's going to bust. You're just so grateful to be there and deliver care for them.
I agree. So special. And I love that November trip too, because it's kind of kicking off that time of year for us here in America. I mean, at least for me, where I'm like, we're rolling into Christmas. I'm buying almost, and like I come home, we went once with our kids. I came home and I was like, this is a great time to go with my children to a place where I'm like, be grateful for your water, be grateful for our home. So very good. Well, was it fun to go? I mean, some people go. Did the teams enjoy it? Like, was it fun to be there with so many people?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I mean, you just develop such great friendships, and like we had brought extra dental assistants, and we had a couple doctors there that didn't have assistants, and so I was like, hey, I have assistants if you need them. And just to see, like, within 5 minutes, they're like a team. They stayed together the whole week, and they laughed, and they depended on each other to care for these patients. And it was just so crazy to see how quickly people just step up and become a team within a team. It was pretty incredible.
It's pretty special stuff. I know there's people I went on trips with from 10, 15 years ago that I'm just like, we're friends now. So that's how it works.
Yeah, it is. That's how it works. You share something together that you haven't shared with anyone else. That just becomes that common thread in your relationship.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, Sandy, very good. I love talking to you. You are so enthusiastic. I'm grateful for you, grateful for your teams. Anything else you want to say about Smiles for Life or humanitarian trips?
No, just that this year they didn't have room for us at Smiles for Life.
I know.
To go on a humanitarian trip. I was really bummed because we need a lot of spots. But we are doing a Lightwave USA trip this year. If you don't mind, I just like take a little plug for it.
I know I had your graphic. I want to bring it up. You keep talking about it. I'll bring this little graphic up.
So we have 10 offices in the Asheville, North Carolina, and Greenville, South Carolina regions that were hit really hard with the hurricane last year. And I had several people reached out to me and said, hey, you don't have anything we could do for this region? And, at the time we already had the mission trip was coming up quickly to go to Dominican Republic. And I was like, we'll see what happens next year. Well, when I went to get spots for the mission trip in 2025 with Smiles for Life, there were not enough spots for us. So I said, well, you know what? This will be Mission Trip USA. So I found an incredible company, or I guess a charity organization called Remote Area Dentistry, or Remote Area Medical. And they set up pop-up clinics in Walmart parking lots and community centers. They just have them all over. And I reached out and said, hey, these are where my offices are. Can you find me some clinics in these areas that we could help with? And she's like, oh my gosh, like this is amazing. So they have been really great to work with. Our teams have been super excited to help out. Most of the teams are going as a group, like
Okay.
obviously Smiles for Centerville's going. They're so amazing. Dr. Gorman's taking,
Yeah.
I think, 3 hygienists and 2 assistants to Lexington, Virginia. He actually went to college in Lexington, so I know it's a very special place for him. So I know that team's going there. We have other teams going to other of their clinics, and it's just been really cool to see how excited they've been. And Lightwave is paying for their hotel, any travel expenses they incur, and then remote area medical takes care of everything else. But it's been pretty fun to do a kind of something a little bit closer to home, and
Yeah.
I feel like people are really excited. So I'm hoping moving forward, those that don't get to go on our overseas mission trips, if we want to continue a little bit of a relationship with them, for people that are like, you know what, a little far for me, but I'd love to do good, that we can do something more local as well.
I love it. We'll take lots of pictures. I want to see all of it.
Oh, well, I'm super excited. And
Yeah.
we're going to get t-shirts made for everyone. We do every year for everyone that goes on our trips. And the shirts are always really amazing, and they're collector's edition. You can only get those if you go. So it's pretty special to have a shirt. Yeah.
Very cool. What a great idea. And what a fun, I mean, it is one thing that we often hear when people come home from the humanitarian trips, which is like, hey, there's a lot of need in our own
Yeah.
area. So very fun that you found that out and planned it. Obviously, Sandy, you're the one that's planning
Yeah.
this, so good job.
Yeah. It's been really fun. It's been really fun. And, like I even had a doctor offer to pay a sub doctor to go on one of the Saturdays. They were really desperate for help. And just the giving of people is so amazing.
I love it. Very good. Well, Sandy, you're their leader. Good job. It comes from the top.
I don't
You're
know about that.
that. Okay,
Well,
well,
I appreciate, I want to thank you, Stuart, for all the support you guys give me, because I couldn't do anything I do without you all, Smiles for Life, my social practice, like the goodness of you and Greg and Aaron, like everyone is so amazingly sold to help me at Crown Council. So I really appreciate that. So thank you.
You're welcome. We're grateful for you, Sandy. Thanks for you and all your teams.
Happy to do it.
Okay, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Very good. Very
She's the
good.
best. Yeah, very good. Really fun to connect with her. She could probably teach a master class on running all of that program. But grateful for the time that she spent with us and thankful for her influence. So, kind of coming to the end of our hour, Gregor. Anything that we missed or anything you want to cover?
She made a point about the humanitarian trips. If that's on your radar and you want to do it in 2025 or 2026, I would be in touch with us. They're filling up very rapidly. And, we can always add more, but we always hesitate to do it till we got commitments. But we do plan to have 4 trips every year, 2 in March, 2 in October, November, 1 each to the Dominican Republic and 1 to Chiapas, Mexico, those times a year. And after the annual event last year, the enthusiasm was very high.
Yeah.
So if that's on your radar, be sure you're in touch with us.
Fun. All righty, Gregor. Great hour. A lot of fun guests. A lot of great content. So thanks for joining me today. Next week, don't forget our webinar, Live with Steve, Lucky Case Acceptance Secrets. So we'll see you next week. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Stu.